Do y'all remember the lady on the Apollo? Showtime at the Apollo, always in the front seat, dancing around and doing all of the most, like my mother said, my mother would say, acting the fool. She just up in the front acting the fool, just pulling all on the celebrities and the guests. Sometimes it looked like she was grabbing, in the middle of something. I don't know. I'm just telling you what it looked like to me. But who is she? Who is this lady? And where did she even come from? Like, is she from New York? How long has she been there? Do she got any kids? Is she married? Like, who is she? And it is 2022. Is she still alive? Is she still here with us today? Well, those are just some of the things that we're going to be talking about today, people. Those are just some of the things that we're going to be getting into. And y'all know me. When I go do some research, I'm giving you all the information. Miss Apollo, written by Sheila Rule, September 1993. Remember, people, September 1993. It's going on 40 years since Miss Eva Isaac first made her way to West 125th Street in Harlem to experience amateur night at the Apollo Theater. Then an anonymous face in the ferocious Take No Prisoner audience, she says she was engulfed by an inexplicable feeling as she sat in the dark and gazed up at the hopeful performers on stage. I don't know what it was. It just went all through me, this feeling all in me, that one day I would be up there doing something, said Isaac, running her hands up her body and back down again. I just felt it, honey. I could see myself up there on that stage. That feeling didn't lie. Isaac has been on the stage of the fabled Apollo more than just a few times over the years. Sometimes when even she least expected to be. Once again, it has to do with getting that feeling in the dark. I'm sitting there in my seat and then something hits me. It's like energy, like a person in church getting happy and don't realize he's up. That's me. Next thing I realize, I'm up there on stage. And when she's up there, and even when she's in the audience, Isaac might be the hardest working woman in or around show business. She gyrates, she screams, she slides, dips, and glides. She climbs, jumps, grabs, bumps. She grooves, sing it. She shrieks, nah. Baby, you ain't got it. The audience, considered by some to be the toughest anywhere, loves her. Nonetheless, many people do not know her name. She's simply that woman in the front row, seat 108, every Wednesday at amateur night. Yes, she is titled royalty in the Palace of Dreams, where generations of audience have sent amateurs on to stardom or home to mama. She is Miss Apollo. Yes, she is. You better tell them. The 55-year-old woman is now woven into the legend of the Apollo and is internationally known amateur night competition, which has launched such stars as Ella Fitzgerald, Dionne Warwick, James Brown, and Billie Holiday. Since 1956, if it's Wednesday night and the Apollo is open for business, she's there. The theater was closed in 1976 after more than 40 years of business and reopened in 1984. She's only missed it to attend her mother's funeral in Virginia in 1987. If I plan a vacation, I'll leave Wednesday night after the Apollo, but I gotta be back before that next Wednesday. And I tell people, do not plan nothing on a Wednesday night, because Eva will not be there, she said, seated in the living room of her apartment in the Polo Grounds housing project, about 30 blocks north of the Apollo. On the walls were scores of photographs of her at the Apollo. A large cardboard cutout of the singer Teddy Pendergrass in a gold suit was propped up across from the sofa. That's my Teddy, baby. I know he's going to walk again. She saw him often at the Apollo concerts until he was paralyzed in a car accident 11 years ago. Amateur night contestants seek Isaac's advice. Bona fide stars who performed there, from B.B. King and Bobby Blue Bland to Millie Jackson and Patti LaBelle, paid tribute to her from the stage. In her freezer, wrapped lovingly in aluminum foil, is a rose given to her by singer Keith Washington. Ushers escort her to her seat amid A blizzard of camera flashes. Fans from across the world grab at her, blow her kisses, and beg for autographs. Okay, I'm trying to make sure where I'm at. And beg for them autographs. She's certainly part of the tradition of amateur night, said Leon Denmark, executive director of the nonprofit foundation that operates the Apollo. Over the years, she's also become a very good judge of talent. So quite often, the audience will look to Eva for a signal as to whether this is a good performer. Isaac's life began on a farm in Emporia, Virginia, if I'm saying that correctly, as one of 9 children. And she has a twin named Etna. Of the Reverend William Scott and his wife Sarah, the household grew to 22 children and 4 adults when Reverend Scott took in another family that had been thrown off a farm they sharecropped. I done everything. I milked the cows, fed the pigs, cut the wood. We didn't have no gas or no electricity, you know. Had to go get the water and be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go and pick cucumbers before the dew fell on them. I had to pull the tobacco with my hands and pick the cotton with my hands. That's why I can't sit still and got to always be doing something. But I cried many a day to go to school. You didn't know if you was going to get out or not. It depended on the work. I used to sit by the ladder in the chicken house to study. I go to the graveyard where I have some books hid so I can read. My teacher said I was smart, and I told him I knew that, but I wanted to be able to come to school. I decided I would never raise my kids on nobody's farm. You tell them, girl. You tell them, Miss Isaac. She said, not today, not my babies. Sealed by that decision, she boarded a bus and headed for New York City in 1956 at the age 17. An aunt, whom she had visited in the city a few years earlier, sent her the bus fare and found her a job as a housekeeper and babysitter, the type of work she's been doing ever since. She started going to amateur night as a way of relaxing and filling her off hours. But she soon found herself in the throes of an addiction. When her husband entered the picture, she became a widow last year. He became very familiar with the Apollo. Her 5 children, now ages 22 through 38, spent Wednesdays there as well. Her third son, Erskine, if I'm saying that correctly, saw James Brown perform there and thought the Godfather soul should be booked there every week. He is now a booking agent. Come on now. Take that back again. He is now a booking agent. My kids look forward to Wednesday nights. It showed them that you could do something if you wanted to. I've seen Gladys Knight and the Pips, Luther Vandross. He lost a lot before he finally won. The Jackson 5, I done seen them all. Of today's talent, Isaac said, they are more realistic than the stars of the 50s and 60s. They know what they want and know how to go and get it in a more business-like way. Back then, people was just singing and they didn't have no control of themselves and their money. When I talk to contestants today, I say make sure you got a head on you. They have a manager, but they have to know what's going on themselves too. From the very start, Isaac would root for contestants with her spiritual brand of electric energy, standing there in the front of the stage and looking up at the parade of both the talented and the talent-free. And then, one night, that feeling in the dark grabbed hold of her. Next thing she knew, as she describes it, she had climbed up the stairs to the stage and was eyeball to eyeball with a bemused performer, beseeching him to sing it. The crowd went wild, and Ralph Cooper Sr., who started amateur night in 1935 and was its master of ceremonies until his death last year, asked her name. He soon took to saying, "That's my girl Eva." Cooper then spoke to businessman and former politician Percy Sutton, whose company owned the Apollo at that time, and arranged a lifetime pass for Isaac. Before then, she had purchased tickets by the month to make sure she always got seat 108. The theater once held a Miss Apollo look-alike contest, and contestants from near and far did their best to impersonate Isaac. Isaac found it hard to believe that some of the antics were imitations of her, but nonetheless encouraged them from the sidelines. And does Miss Apollo ever boo? Do she ever boo people? That is the question. Isaac said, I boo them in a minute. Some of these people know they can't sing. One lady started singing and it sounded like somebody was grinding something. I had to boo if you good. Wait, I had to boo, but if you good, I'm going to get up there and help you. Isaac says she plans to be around for a long time to encourage the stars of tomorrow. But if she ever tires of that life, there is a home waiting for her outside Emporia. Before her father died in 1975, he divided his land amongst his children. Isaac's younger brother, an architect, built homes for the siblings in an area called Scottsville. And then I found another article, and this article is dated for 1991. This article was actually written in 1991, 2 years before the article that I just read. It has been 2 years since Miss Isaac, then a 12-year-old princess visiting from rural Virginia, first entered what she considered the center of the world. She immediately grasped that the Apollo was more than that. It was something like in heaven. After moving here in 1956, Miss Isaac became an Apollo fixture, a screaming, gyrating, unfixed one. There was, to be sure, that awful time in 1979 when the Apollo went bankrupt and dark. But since Apollo Amateur Night resumed on Christmas Eve 1983, only the death of Miss Isaac's mother has kept her away. She says her antics are the key to act success or failure, or at least to collective happiness. Does she overstate? We asked Ralph Cooper, host of Amateur Night, since it began in 1935, how much EVA mattered. EVA means everything. The leg end declared. EVA means everything. The leg end declared. We first got to know Miss Isaac over coffee in the housing project where the polo grounds used to be. There were hundreds of pictures on her wall, each telling a story. Many show Apollo experiences. She saw James Brown dancing in the aisle, both in sequins, Barry White, and her in a little fringe number that prompted him to rumble. Rock it to me, baby, in that sexy voice. There is her beloved father, a preacher and a farmer. He raised his own 9 children, as well as 13 others after their sharecropper parents were forced off their land. He has a smile like me, she said, and he told me to never stop smiling. There was at least one photo of husband number 1 who died, and no more than one of number 2 who gambled too much and so angered Miss Isaac that she didn't ask for child support. How long were they married? I can't count the years, man, she said. I'm trying to forget them. And there are pictures of other children, people's children, whom Miss Isaac has taken care of to earn a living. She sounds a lot like her dad. That's my baby, she said, of a little girl on the Upper East Side. Her current charge. She told me we're going to be friends for life. I said, you better believe it. One picture made her cry. It showed Leroy, whom Miss Isaac raised after his mother died when the boy was a 4th grader. Leroy is a Marine. She was sent to the Persian Gulf days before the war started. My baby. A half hour later, Miss Isaac was at the Apollo, frantically applauding. Nikki Love later judged the winner by audience enthusiasm. She's got a chance to really make it, said Miss Isaac. Others weren't nearly so lucky. Nah, she exclaimed about 10 seconds into a jittery singer's questionable quest for the big time. A hometown favorite, but she don't got it. Soon everyone was booing. A clown in a huge wig, the executioner, chased the singer off as an air raid siren pierced the den. The performer cried, but Miss Isaac was pitiless. Giving you a little bit more information about Miss Eva Isaac. So she was married 2 times. Miss Eva Isaac been married 2 times, got 5 kids. She sounded a lot like her dad, you know, like she took care of people just like her father took care of people. Now I'm reading an article from the New York Post dated for November 5th, 2019 that says how Apollo Theater crowds went from throwing eggs to making legends. And in this article, it mentions a new documentary, The Apollo, premiering November 6th on HBO, offers a window into why amateur night remains such an essential part of Harlem, the music industry, and Black culture as a whole. The film chronicles the Apollo journey from a refuge for marginalized artists and audience to an icon of Black excellence and empowerment, and how amateur night drove that shift. And in this particular documentary that I just watched the other day on HBO, Miss Eva Isaac was in that documentary. It says right here, one time during intermission, I was going to the bar to get a drink of water and singing to myself, said grade 70, one of the regulars, a woman named Eva Isaac, who would sit in the front and interact with the contestants. Matter of fact, instead of me sitting up here telling you what to say, let me take you to it so you can see it for yourself.
I was singing to myself out loud. So she said, Joe, how did you sing?
I said, you were singing tonight.
Has anybody noticed how beautiful Eva looks tonight? Second half comes up. I go out to change the mic. And as I'm changing the mic, Eva stands up and says, well, let Joe sing.
Let Joe sing. Well, what Eva want, Eva get.
Ralph looks at me and hands me the mic and walks off stage. So I said, don't you remember you told me you love me, baby?
Joe come out there singing, I jumped up, people started clapping, Joe started singing and making record ever since then. That was my man.
The only time she missed the Apollo is when she went to her mother's funeral and her father's funeral. So I was like, well, who was her dad? Because I wanted to know her maiden name. Since now I know she'd been married 2 times. So that means that her last name wasn't originally Isaac. So since I'm going to do research, then I want to know, what's your maiden name? So I went back into the census and then I found this. Can y'all see this? Can I see it? Okay, I can see it so y'all can see it. I found this census document, that says this is her father William Scott. This was in 1920. Now what I found interesting about this, from Virginia, family comes from Virginia, 1920. What I found interesting about this is that you see the race, it's a mulatto. I said, what the hell? What the hell? I had to go back a few times. Could be, you know, white people was always, dibbling and dabbling back then, dibbling and dabbling. But then it also mentioned, so this would be Eva's father. So it mentions Eva's grandparents. So we have George Scott and Patty Scott, all from Virginia. This is 1920. So then I found that. Then I found the actual census thing. So let me blow this up so y'all can see the actual census. Because on this, it mentions, you see the mulatto, but what's interesting about this mulatto thing is if you see the other people, if you come over here in this row where you see the MU over here, where my hand at? The MU right here. This row all the way up, you see how it's black, B, black. Then they put, it was like they put black. Somebody noticed that they look mixed, scratched it out and put MU. So they have George, or the father, William, as being mulatto, but then Patty as being black, because they don't have her scratched out, and then the rest of the kids and stuff, which would be Eva's aunts and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, her aunts and stuff, because on this particular census, Her father is 16, if I'm not mistaken. This is 1920. So now we go into 1920. This is her mother, Sarah Jones. So now we know that Eva's maiden name is Scott. Father last name was Scott. So her name was Eva Scott. Okay, what's her middle name? We ain't got that yet. But here go her mother. Mother Sarah, age 3, 1920. Yep, I found her mother's census thing. And on her mother's side of the family, you see I found the grandparents, all from Virginia. We got Junius and Carrie. That would be Eva's grandparents. I thought that was pretty cool because her mother was 3 at the time. How cool is that? How cool is that? So cool. And then I found a 1930 census. This is all Eva family. 1930 census saying that they were in North Carolina. Now, this one I was a little confused by. I was like, what? Because that means that Eva's father would have been 26 years old. On here, they got him 26 years old with the wife, Sarah Scott. Sarah would have been about this age, 16, 17, but they got him in North Carolina. So you were Virginia, North Carolina, whatever, which must have kind of made sense. Because then I found this 1940 census. Let's just go with this one first. This 1940 census that actually mentions Eva, the Eva that we're talking about, Eva Isaac, as Eva Mae Scott, living in the house with her parents, 1 year old. She's 1 year old, Negro black child. But then let me do you one even better than that one. Let me do you one even better. Let's bring up this one with everybody that was in that household in 1940. We got her father, William, Mama Sarah. I don't know who this Elias Scott is that they got 60 daughter, because there's no way. But down you see Eva Mae Scott, 1 year old daughter, and Edna Scott, 1, because remember they are twins. Thought that was just so cool that I was able to pull that up, her and her twin sister. And that's 1940. And what is this? Yeah, this is it with just the whole family. Now, remember, I told you that in 1930, it said that they were in North Carolina, right? Then in 1940, they're in Virginia. But what's interesting about this is that on this little sheet that I have here, and this is for the people that's ever interested in census stuff, because I always am. Wait a minute. Here we go. Wait a minute, I got other things open. So now I'm having a hard time clicking what I'm trying to click. Okay. On this particular thing right here, as you see, because 1930 they was in North Carolina, it says right here that their residence in 1935 was rural Bersha, if that's what it is, North Carolina. But as of 1940, they was in Brunswick, Virginia. So that means that 1930 census that I seen, that I was a little questioning at first, could actually, I think that was them. I think that was them. And then let's go back to her father, William Scott, who she got her last name from, her maiden last name. I seen that he was in World War II. Thought that was pretty cool. World War II, 38 years old. And it said next of kin, Sarah Scott, at the bottom of this. But I actually found the actual draft card. Thought that was pretty cool. Just love history. Love it. Love people history. Father, William Scott, Brunswick, Virginia, Emporia, Virginia. And then it says name and address of person who will always know your address. He got Mrs. Sarah Scott. And yeah. So that is her father's, who she said that's the funeral that she went to, the only funeral that she would ever, person whose stuff she would ever miss the Apollo for, is for her mother and her father. Then she said that she missed the Apollo to go to her mother's funeral. This is her mother passed away. Sarah Scott passed away April 25th, 1989 in Richmond, Virginia. She was 56 years old, and I found her actual death certificate. Here goes her actual death certificate right here. That mentions 76, Richmond, Virginia, who also mentions her parents on here. And it says she was a widow on here too. I don't know if you can see all of that, you know, because I'm just I'm not trying to drag it out, people, because I know I'm very interested in this, but I don't know everybody else. But it definitely mentions her parents, Junius Jones and Carrie Walker. We seen them names earlier when I was showing you them other papers. So this is her census. This is her death record. William Scott passed away. It says in 1975, I think it says. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hell no. Lipstick on. Passed away in January 1975 in Emporia, Virginia. That is her father. Where is she today? Is she still alive today? Especially after people who did watch that 2019 HBO special. This video is dated for January 2020, people. 2020.
I was singing to myself out loud. So she said, Joe, I heard you sing.
I said, you will sing tonight.
Has anybody noticed how beautiful Dina looks tonight? Second hand comes out. I go out chasing the hike. And as I'm chasing Mike, he stands up and says, well, let Joe sing.
Let Joe sing. Wherever evil won't, evil get.
I must have been having
Memories. Thanks, Lisa Cortez, for making this happen for her.
Joe out there singing, and I jumped up, people started clapping. Joe started singing and making record ever since then. That was my man.
Joe, this for you, baby.
You talking to Joe?
Yeah. Say hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe. I still love you. Still got it in me.
You still got it?
Still got it. I'm very much alive. I'm not dead.
Tell people.
Huh?
You say?
I said I'm very much alive. I'm not dead. Still got that step and hook the hell out of you.
So, yes, matter of fact, I'm sorry about that. That video is dated for December 29th, 2021. Miss Eva Mae Isaac is still alive. And I actually found that Facebook video on her son's page. Her son that, had mentioned in the article is a booking agent. What I got his name written down somewhere. Erskine, if I'm saying that correctly, Erskine Isaac. And as a matter of fact, let me show this right quick. That picture that I just had up. That picture of Miss Eva today. If you look at this picture, that she looked absolutely so beautiful on. Absolutely so beautiful. If you see at the bottom of this picture, it says Erskine Isaac. This is her son. Because not only being a booking agent, I would say he's a photographer, because he has some amazing photography on his Facebook page. So he actually took this picture of his mother. Isn't that a beautiful picture of Miss Isaac? Miss Isaac is currently 83 years old. Won't he do it? Her birthday is July 5th. 1939. That's when she was born. July 5th, 1939. And she is currently 83 years old. She just celebrated her 83rd birthday. But let's keep this running. Let's keep this running. She just celebrated her 83rd birthday on July 5th, 2021. So when I was doing my research and I seen that she was still alive, I was so happy to see that. Absolutely happy. All that energy, to see that video. She said, I still got it. She letting you know. She ain't playing no games. But in addition to that, I had found this tribute that her son paid to her. Let me see, can I find it? See, Erskine Isaac, dated for November 4th, 2020. Let me read this to you, what he said about his mother. Let's see what he said about his mom. And he said to about his mother. Let me find it. Here we go. It says, dated for November 4th, 2020. Honor thy father and your mother, so that you may have a long life upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you. Exodus 20:12. Before a child understands the concept of God, the mother is the center of its universe. The mother is the essence of life. The mother is, in fact, the giver and sustainer of life. And when the child grows to understand the nature of the divine, the child acknowledges the mother of God's vessel and bestows to her the title of Queen Mother. My siblings and I have been blessed with a Queen Mother who is her of 82 years of life and has been always a lover of life, a giver of life, a nurturer of life, and a champion of our lives. We have all loved each other through the decades unconditionally, with all our imperfections and craziness, triumphs and tragedies. We are blessed to have her with us. God is good all the time. I dedicate this picture to my brother, Stanley Isaac, my sister, Tracy Isaac, sister-in-law, my wife, and my cousin, niece, nephew, and my daughter for being the 18 in this insane year. This was 2020. This was in 2020 that Erskine, if I am saying that correctly, apologize. This is a tribute to Miss Eva Isaac. That's why I'm doing this video, so I really don't want to get no names wrong. This is a tribute to her. But I had noticed something when I was watching that YouTube, that Facebook video of Miss Eva Isaac. I had noticed something. But I thought it was just me. So as I kept doing my research and I kept looking, I found this posting up. There go her and her son, Erskine, if I'm saying that correctly. Her and her son, the booking agent, the one who did the video of her on Facebook, the one who took them wonderful, beautiful pictures of his mother. That's him. And then she raised some amazing children. Look, there she go again, looking fabulous. Gone girl, with her son name at the bottom. He took these pictures. And there she go again. And then I found, now this is the sister that he mentions in that tribute, Tracy. This is Tracy Isaac. So as I was kind of looking into Tracy, you know, I have found something that Tracy wrote. And this is what Tracy said. We're going to come to it. It said, this was in May of 2020, okay? This was before that Facebook video. It says, even though her memories are fading away, no matter how old I get, no matter what I achieve in life, she will always be my mommy. Friends, don't wait until Mother's Day to show appreciation to that special someone, blood related or not. Tomorrow is not promised to no one, nor are there memories. Proverbs 27:1. So basically what I'm saying is that Miss Eva has Alzheimer's, and her daughter said even though her memories are fading away. So I'm assuming that's probably what the son was talking about when he did the tribute, and he said, you know, thanking everybody for it being like a crazy year. I'm assuming that's probably what he was talking about, you know, his mom losing her memory and them being there for her and stuff. So I just thought that was sad. And you want to know why I thought that was sad? I thought that was sad because of this. This right here, all the memories that Miss Eva Isaac has. I mean, all the people she done seen, all the things that she done did. I mean, she is known as Miss Apollo. That's what we know. You can't think of Showtime at the Apollo and not think of Miss Eva Isaac all in the front, grabbing on people, and not having no shame in her game either. Just not a damn shame in her game. And for all of those memories, and not only that, memories with her children and the full life that she has had. And then to know that this Alzheimer's thing can just snatch it away from you. That just, that's just a little sad that, that those memories are now gone for her, or are fading away, because I can't say they're completely gone, because in December 29th, 2021, we see her in this video, and she said that she ain't dead yet, and she'll still get you. This article, because first of all, I can't even see. This article is dated for 1990, if I'm not mistaken. Apology Amateur Night returning this week. But what I found interesting about this article was this man on here. I'm trying to figure out, who is this man with the glasses and stuff on with this sweater? Is that Norman Miller? Now you may be like, Geneva, who the hell is Norman Miller? I don't know what you talking about. I ain't did the research and stuff like you done did. Can you explain yourself? Can you please? Okay, let me do it. Let me find this right quick. It says, as always, the audience applauds, cheers, boos, whistles, or catcalls, or worst of all, silence, will determine who will be the four winners and who will lose among the 18 acts scheduled to appear this Wednesday night. The make or break atmosphere of the Apollo used to be intensified by a character called Puerto Rico, created by Norman Miller, a stagehand who would run on stage with a hook and cap pistol to haul off and shoot unpopular performers into the wings. This week, Howard Sims, a former dancer who will recreate another character, Sandman, who also helps get failing amateurs off stage. Okay, so then I had seen that. I said, are we talking about Sandman at the beginning of this video, the Showtime at the Apollo? Let that play out. Don't you remember how the Showtime at the Apollo used to come on? And the Showtime, dun, dun, at the Apollo, and and Showtime, oh, at the Apollo, starting turning two, pink hoops in the cool, the dancers, gender acts, sending to, where is it? Kiki Shepard, Sandman the Sandman. I said, oh, Sandman. So Sandman before, wait a minute. I said, so before it was the Sandman, it was the Executioner? I said, really? Ain't nobody told me nothing. First of all, I really don't even know too much about the Sandman, let alone knowing that it was a guy before him called the Executioner that used to come out and shoot people and get them off the stage or whatever. So that made me say, well, let's do a video about the Sandman. And I already did the research on it, and it was pretty interesting. Right here, what the Apollo used to look like back in the day. I said, this was the Apollo back in the day? That's what it looked like? It was an all-white burlesque place, like in the 30s or something. I said, what? Did y'all know that? Did you? Well, we figured it had to have been all white or something before they let the black people. We know how they do. But yeah, that's what it used to be, an all-white burlesque place before it turned to the Showtime at the Apollo. Scatman was there in the 80s, and Kiki Shepard and Ralph Cooper. Yes, Ralph Cooper was and that's crazy because in the 1991 article that I read, Ralph Cooper was still alive. He's the guy that started the Showtime at the Apollo. Then they mentioned, then when I read the 1993 when I think he had passed away. And then the guy that they said that used to own the Apollo, Percy Sutton, based on that 2009 HBO documentary of the Apollo. He used to be the attorney that represented Malcolm X. If I'm not mistaken, that's who he used to be. He used to be the attorney that represented Malcolm X, and he had invested and put a lot of money into the Apollo that ended up milking his pockets. And then he felt like it probably wasn't the best investment. Currently, right now, where does Eva Mae stay? Is she still in New York? Is she in Virginia on the property that her dad left them? William Scott left them when he passed away? I don't even know. But you read what I said in the articles. Eva was basically like that she may never leave New York. And even though they're not even doing the Apollo, what are they still? I don't even know if they're even doing the Apollo. If they are, they're not putting it on TV anymore. The video is a tribute to an unsung, unspoken Apollo legend, Eva Isaac. I would like to know how you all feel about this situation, and while you are letting me know, could you please like and share this video and subscribe to Genevas Closet if you haven't already done so right here on YouTube. And you can follow me on Facebook at Genevas Closet, and you can email me at GenevasClosett22@gmail.com. You all have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.